So, a little update on my Stephen West Twist and Turns MKAL. I finally finished clue 1 and started on clue 2. I'm on the first wing, and you can see here my colors kind of blowing out, but that's my Spice colorway by Babel's Traveling Yarns, and I really like this yarn. It's a merino mixed with some bamboo and a bit of nylon. I'll put the information on the screen. I'm really enjoying knitting with it. It has a slight sheen, which you can't really see because the lighting. And it's not splitty, because unfortunately I'm finding these other two yarns are the Sock Lite by Olann Mills. And I don't know if they still carry the Sock Lite. For this project, it was probably, I didn't know it was going to be kind of splitty, but you don't want a splitty yarn. I mean, it was not extremely splitty, but I did find it to be splitty. So I was particularly glad with the twisted rib where you have to like purl through the back loop and things, that this one from Babel's, her base was not splitty. But the colors, I mean, the Olann colors as well, are just absolutely beautiful. And it wasn't splitty enough that it, put me off using it at all. Oh, is it good smells? Mimi is checking out the project. Shep is having a rest. So happy with how this is turning out, and I think with my color choices so far, I know some people were not enjoying the bat wings look with their project, but I think so far it's working out well with my colors, and I think part of that is just color choice, and it's kind of the luck of the draw because you don't know where your colors are going to go. So, and last year I was not happy with my color choices in the shawlography. Good morning, friends. This is Thursday. I think it's the 20th of October. Clue 3 for the MKAL has just been released. I haven't looked at it yet. I'm getting ready to, but I thought I'd show you my progress so far. First off, actually, I'll show you. This is this is Mimi. So, she distracted me. This is what we're calling sort of the garden spa room. We were calling it the sunroom, but I don't think that's quite accurate because that sounds like it's a regular indoor room. It's not really, but it's not really a greenhouse or a conservatory because it has just a tin roof. But we've made this out of a bunch of salvaged windows. I didn't make it, Tom made it. And we have one of those blow-up spas, which I can't recommend highly enough. Segue now back into, I was just going to show you. So yeah, so some of these are the old windows from our cottage and some are from Sandra and Bob's cottage, and they're really lovely. I'll go outside and show you in a minute. Harvested my first little squash from our garden. This was a bad squash year for us, but it's up there just looking cute. And these are, started to bring in some plants. These are 2 of our lemon trees. That makes little mini lemons. Bigger than that. That one's just small, but they kind of are like that size. And this is a regular size lemon, and we've harvested the yellow ones, but this is, so we've got some green ones going, and we just fed it because it kind of got unhappy in its pot. But it's flowering. The scent is absolutely magical. So, but let me give you a quick little look outside. So here, these are just all rocks from our garden, that we've dug up or whatnot. Tom's going to make a herb bed for me because it's right next to the cottage, so that's really handy. And raised like that, a lot of herbs don't like the wet that we have here. So yeah, but these are the beautiful windows and door from Sandra and Bob, and we got to repaint them. We're going to repaint all yellow again. They're beautiful oak windows, but they're just all these, they're single glazed, so they got new windows and they passed those on to us. And these are our old just PVC ones, but we're going to paint around here yellow and probably paint the wood inside yellow, so it's all going to be yellow and white. So So yeah, so we'll walk around the garden another time. This is actually meant to be about the MKAL. So. It gets so warm in here, so much warmer compared to the polytunnel. I had to take off my jumper. And actually, while I'm here, I'll just give you a quick little heads up about this. So this is actually more turquoisey than it looks blue, but the camera doesn't like to. But this is my ranunculus that I made out of a beautiful variegated yarn hand dyed by Curio Stitches. And we're actually doing the Curio Stitches KAL right now, and I'll put information about that in the down bar. But when she was dyeing yarn a couple years ago, I got that from her, and I've held it with like a turquoisey mohair. But what I wanted to say is she's starting back dyeing yarn, but she's going to do it in a little different way. She's going to dye up kits for her patterns. So if you go to her video, which I'll link below, I'll actually link to where she's talking about that. Okay, now back to... Well, not back to, I haven't really started. So this is my Stephen West MKAL. Spoiler. Spoiler. So this is my Stephen West MKAL. Once again, I poured a coffee and it's stone cold. This is my clue 1. My yarns are 2 by Olann, and which are Irish. It's Irish dyer, and now they have a little mini mill, but this wasn't spun by them. These are older. This is the colorway Burnish, and this one is North Star. So, and also I have this colorway Spice by Babel's Yarns. And what I will say is they're absolutely beautiful. They're working really well together. This is the second section of Clue 2, the second wing, and here's my first wing. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love this. This got a bit tedious towards the end. It's a lot of fun and worth doing it. And I think one reason it got more tedious is because there was sort of a self-imposed time limit. I think if I had just been doing it, it would have been a lot, sort of a different experience once I got halfway. But that's okay. This was a break. Afterwards, it's a lot of garter stitch and this beautiful twisted rib. The cables of Clue 2, oh, your contrast color. I had all these in stash, except I only had one skein of this North Star colorway from Olann. This is the one I had. And so I did a search, and I found this online, which was hard to do. But Picknits had it in Spain. And so my friend Nicole, time weaver in Spain, got it for me and posted it. But you can see there's a lot more of the specklies on it than this. So I've started off with this one. But I'm thinking when I do those cables, I'll use this by itself. Just because that will probably be a feature in those cables, because my color pop in some ways is, I just don't know what's coming next. I haven't looked at Clue 3 yet, and I don't know what Clue 4 is. So I'm just thinking the cables will be a good time to show this off on its own, and then it won't be too busy in between using other colors, if that makes sense. I probably didn't explain that very well. So yeah, so I'm well behind. I've just, started here, and I've got my beautiful stitch markers, crystal semi-precious stone stitch markers that Nicole of Time Weaver made me as a present when she sent me that yarn I bought, the Olann skein I needed. She also added that in as a surprise. She added a set in that matched my project. And yeah, so she sells her stitch markers on Ko-Fi, and she's under Time Weaver. And like, that was just, we're just friends now. So, I mean, this isn't sponsored or anything. I'm just telling you about things I love and, that I enjoy using. And so, the same reason I'm talking about the Curio Stitches yarn and doing that knit along, because I've enjoyed her patterns. And, yeah, so this is where I've gotten to so far, and I really, really like it. So happy with my color choices. Last year, I wasn't happy with the way my color choices knitted up in shawlography. I think for me, as much as I love all the bright colors. If you follow me, you will see that. But with the Stephen West Knitalong, because I don't know what the pattern is, having looked at other people's, especially with the shawlography, the ones that I like tend to be very, like the colors really blended. And I think that for me, that's because like if you just got the pattern, then you could pick your yarns. I'm going to use it for this part or that part. And obviously you're not doing it in a mystery knit along. And there's so much patterning that for me, I found in the majority, I did see some really bright ones that were like oranges and yellows and, you know, kind of different that I loved, that were amazing. But in the majority, things that kind of nearly in the same color family and the pop wasn't too wild, I liked those best. Yarn that I tend to get is hand dyed, so it tends to be more expensive. And although I'm mainly a process knitter, if I've spent all that time and money, I do want to wear what I've knitted. So yeah, so I think going forward, I'll definitely do it again next year, but I think I'll be aware of those kind of color choices, things that are quite harmonious. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to watch Clue 3 to see what's coming up, just to help me plan my color choice, which skein I'm going to go with. And yeah, I'm going to drink my cold coffee. And I'm going to help that bee out. I'm going to help it go outside, go get the butterfly net. I watched Clue 3. I'll turn you around. Yeah, I'm excited because I like the surprise thing that it's an option that you can do. He talks about it at the end. I won't say what it is because I don't want to make too much of a spoiler because the clue just came out. One reason I like it, this Clue 3 looks like it maybe is not going to take me as long as these other ones. The optional thing, I don't think I'm going to do right now. It looks like something you can add in at any point. So I'm not going to do it now because I have a sock test knit that I would like to get started on. And I would very much kind of like to catch up on this. And I still have all the cables to do. Well, I have to finish, you know, the second wing and then do all the cables for Clue 2. So if I don't do the option in Clue 3 and I just do the 2 side parts, I might be able to catch up, and also to start my sock test knit. It's going to be the Golden Wreath socks by Shy of Witchy Knits. So I'm excited about that. I've got my colors chosen. So yeah, so really excited about Clue 3. I feel like I'm getting a bit of breather. I can go in later and add in that option because it's not integral. Yeah, so excited about that. What are you doing? What are your thoughts? Have you watched Clue 3 yet? Are you going to do the sort of option? The idea of maybe mohair sounds fun, although I don't know if that will soften things too much. But yeah, it sounds really fun. So let me know, what are you going to do if you're doing MCAL? I just want to show you, so on the mirrored wing where you're purling all the time, some people were having, you know, a little concern because their purl stitches were a lot looser than their knit stitches. So these are my knit and this is the purl, and they're both on the right side now. But I don't think, I mean, they're slightly, I don't know. I think they're close enough. What do you think? So those are the purls and those are the knits on the wings so that you get the garter on both sides, but this side you have to do purls. So, what I was going to do, if there was a big difference, I was just going to go down on a needle size because I'm actually using 3.75 because I tend to be a tight knitter even though it's 3.5 recommended. I did actually do a little swatch because I just wanted to see, and I wanted to see how my colors played together. So before I started, I did do a little swatch and I was happy with a 3.75, but if my purls were a lot looser, I thought I could go down. But I'm happy enough. I'm happy enough. We've come inside, and Mimi's over visiting Scott. I'm trying to work on this, which is just taking me ages because I keep getting distracted, having to jump up and do things. So it's about 2:30 in the afternoon. I think I've done like 3 rows. Oh, this is what happens. But yeah, watching some podcasts on the screen. It's just a computer monitor screen that we have hooked up with the Fire stick, and it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit, like 62 or something. So the fire is not on. Don't need the fire on. And that's our laundry thing, goes up and down. That's very handy. This is our main room. So this is our living room and our kitchen. It looks funny. It looks bigger than it is in here. Yeah. That is it's the old traditional cooking fireplace, but somebody filled it in with concrete. They poured concrete in and yeah. But the wood stove pipe goes up there, so the pipe heats up the concrete that's there, and then the two rooms to either side, which is the bedroom and the craft room, it just holds the heat. That middle bit, which is all the old big fireplace and the concrete. So we heat the wood stove up, and it also heats that up, and then it slowly radiates heat out throughout the day or night or whatever. And you can see some of our garlic is hanging. It's all nice and dried. I have some somewhere else, and I have to have all the onions dried, but they aren't braided yet.